Hey, what's up, everybody? We want to welcome you to another edition of My Road to Recovery. My co-host, I'm starting to wonder if I'm the co-host and she's the host.
Yeah.
I think
don't know. I'm sitting real pretty in the middle here. I just feel very special.
She handles this better than me. I know that I'm just weeks away from getting fired, so I'm just letting you know. But until then, we've had so many great guests on this entire time, and thanks so much for. And we try to say this every time. I looked on who was the guy that we did last week? Can you remember? Can't think of it off the top of my head.
Randall Bolts, yep.
And I'm able to go on and look on our analytics, which is a big word. If it's bigger mayonnaise, I normally don't know what it means. But to see when you go on there and you see, okay, over 6,000 people watched, even if it's 30 seconds of an episode, that's 6,000 more people that we reached, that maybe one out of those 6,000 went, wow, what a great success story. Maybe it is possible to find some solace and some hope in recovery. And that's exactly why we do it. Look, we ain't Hollywood. We ain't all dolled up in makeup and all that. We're just real people talking to real people about real problems.
Exactly.
And it's very much a problem in our area. But, man, I've heard some success stories sitting over here beside you, huh? Why don't you tell the people at home who we got today?
Yeah, we have Rusty. Rusty is, he's just a trooper. He is what recovery is about. I mean, when you think of the recovery community and you think about someone who really had to give their all and kind of put forth so much effort to do this gentleman right here always comes to the forefront of my mind. I had the opportunity to run into him a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. Like, there's this thing that we're doing. Like, would you come down and talk to us? And he said he would, so I was real excited to see it.
He reeled off 3 things over here by the door just a minute ago, and it was like just, I got engaged, I got an apartment.
I know.
And it's like, man, rock on, dude. Hey, don't that make you feel good when you can say those, what some people may think is minute and, passe and not really into it. To some of us, that's a big deal, man. That's life changing. So congratulations, buddy. Sounds like you're on a roll right now.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We ain't got to go all the way back to the 1800s with it, but just give the people at home a little bit of your story. No right or wrong.
Well, addiction's real, and it took me a minute to realize that it was just more than just putting down drugs and alcohol. It's a disease of the brain, and like I had to work really hard to get to where I'm at, you know what I mean? But I was willing. Like, I tried treatment a few times before, and I kept failing, and I kept wondering why, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you, I wanted to ask you that, because I hear people say,
and I kept failing.
How come? What happened the first couple of times?
I wasn't willing to accept all the things I have to accept.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to give up people, place, and things. I wasn't willing to give up my kids that I didn't even have. I wasn't willing to give up my ex-girlfriend that we was in an active addiction with.
It's hard, isn't it?
It was hard.
I think for me, it's like saying that you're powerless. Okay, it had that hold on me, and I can't even. I'm not a successful addict. I can't just use a little bit, and that's hard to come to terms with. How long have you been? Did you fight like with the demons? Is what I call them in addiction. Like, how long did you kind of go back and forth?
Man, I fought for 30 years.
30 years. It's hard,
I'm 44, and like I really didn't. I dibbled and dabbled, but I really didn't even do drugs until I was really 18. I done went to prison. I went to prison in high school. Got out and finished my senior year of football. Threw all away all my scholarships and everything. I had a girlfriend that got killed in a car wreck, and I hated life, hated everything. And I lived off anger, but the big D is danger.
Sure.
And man,
I got
it is. It's amazing though. As I sit here today and just kind of talk to you and look at you, the guy that walked in that met me, several months ago, is not the same person that's sitting here today. The man that come in and met me is not the person that has sat here and had made some goals for himself, and it's just amazing. I just want you to know that it is simply amazing, and people around you, they kind of feed off of that energy. There were several of you that had been at our office and stuff, and you guys had no idea the following that you had, because a lot of other folks wanted your recovery. They seen how hungry you were for it and how things were just happening good in your life. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Leading by example.
Yes, totally.
Sure. I mean, just about everybody's been on this show. I was in treatment with, and if not, I go to church with them, and they're part of my family.
Key word right there, man.
Yes.
And cool to go to church, ain't it?
Absolutely. I got baptized over a year ago. Tomorrow I have 15 months clean off of MATs, everything, and that's the best thing probably for my recovery that I could not get back on Suboxone while I was in their services. My son was at sober living, remember?
Yes, I do.
And
that
you know,
was a whole ordeal in and of itself because we had no idea.
I mean, he didn't even know me. You know what I mean? He really didn't know me. But I, you know, like I told him, I couldn't change the past. Like only thing we do is move forward, and we did pretty good until he realized that I was dead serious about what I was talking about.
Right.
And you know, I mean, he messed up, and I can't hate him for it. You know, I mean, I still love
the
him.
addiction, it talks and it talks loud, and sometimes it lies to us, and it has us thinking and doing things we normally wouldn't. So tell me, like this time, whenever you decided that you were going to go head first in, what's some things that you had to do differently? I know everybody talks about like you had to change something. What's one thing that you can't compromise? You have to do this, or you're not going to be able to stay sober.
You're going to have to accept a lot of things, okay? And you're definitely going to have to get God in your life. And if you don't believe in God, you need to.
Yeah, that's a great one to hold on to right there, man. When nobody else has the right answer, you can take
for
time.
years, I hated God.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
But I was an idiot. You know what I mean? And it was easy for me to put down drugs several times in my life throughout my life. You know, I started back when they had pills, the pill mill stuff.
Yeah.
And man, I could lay down the drugs so many times, and I'll always go back to them.
Still have that anger?
I could say, oh man, I was angry when I got to Lawrence County Recovery.
Yeah.
I was absolutely
I bet you
angry.
wasn't as angry when you left, was you?
No,
man.
So tell me some things that you were able to accomplish. What are some goals that you had set for you while you were in treatment that you were able to kind of get and,
See, I'm 44, and I hadn't had my license since I was 19. All right, got my license. Okay, I hadn't had a bank account in 20 years.
Got a bank account. And it's your bank. I always love that. Always love it when it's my money and I don't have to worry. Like I can take care of myself.
Absolutely.
Right, and man, I got a job. I worked one job the whole time I was in treatment, and then now I end up getting another job. And man, I went from the bottom to shift lead to now I'm assistant manager.
Did you ever think that was possible for you? Did you ever think that somebody put you in that position to where you would, you know, kind of lead other
I ain't
people?
gonna lie, I did think it was possible.
Good.
But
Not sure if it was attainable.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, I didn't know if I could quit doing drugs. Like because I tried to drink. I tried to drink, but guess what? A drink I break out track marks in a week or two.
I guarantee
you. Know what I mean? If I smoke, same deal. Same deal. So I had to accept that I can't do nothing. That's why I got off with Suboxone and that Sublocade. You know what I mean?
So that's kind of working. You found that was like the whole thing for you is like you had to find something manageable for yourself that helped you kind of keep moving forward. It looks like that you have just really been able to kind of really take the core values of the 12 steps and really kind of put them just functioning in your life. Do you still attend meetings and stuff, or tell me what that looks like for you?
I probably go to more meetings now than I did in treatment.
Isn't that crazy? Did you ever think that on your own that you just want to go? I know a lot of people don't understand
at first, like, you know, I sit in the back of the room and I'm like this and like, you know,
Where you sit at now?
All the way up.
I'm saying you're probably chairing meetings.
I'm at the altar. I'm at the altar every weekend. You know what I mean? Like.
And I have a buddy of mine that I was talking to last weekend. His dad was into alcohol. He's been going to AA meetings for 55 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
And Boyd said, my buddy Boyd Morris, I'll say his name. He said 2 days a week. But he bust up in there. He's like he goes and shares his story and been doing it for 55 years. Never had a relapse or anything. So there's something good about those meetings, or they wouldn't be people be going to them all these years like that.
There's a small recovery church in Ironton, and I tell a lot of people about this recovery church. I don't know what happens there, but it's magic. And it is. That's all I got. Like it will draw in your meanest, baddest man and dude, and they'll come in there, and before you know it, they're on their knees crying, and they know, like, I got to give it up. Like, this is what I need to do.
There's a song I wished I could think off the top of my head because I get so moved by music. But if you ever get, maybe you've heard it, but it's and I don't know who sings it, but I was listening to it in the car one Sunday morning before I played golf. I was going to play golf at 10:30, and after I listened to this song, I said, hell, I'm going to church. I'm going to church. Because it was talking about, hey, if you think there's miracles happening upstairs, you should see what they're doing in the basement. Because that's where they were having the AA meetings and recovery meetings. And it just simply said, it gave me chill bumps on my legs. He said, if you think there's miracles happening upstairs, you should see what's going on in that basement. So wherever you got to get it, get the goods from, go get it for sure.
What's that Kenny Chesney song, That's Why I'm Here?
Oh,
you know what I mean? I heard that like years ago, never really listened to it though
Yeah.
till recently, and
I posted some lyrics out of that
Yep.
song just last week on our Lawrence County page.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, Kathy, actually knows some now. Shay Smith wrote that song, and one of the most powerful lyrics. I tell you, when it becomes even more powerful is when you look at the lyric online. Don't sing the song, but read the lyric. It's so true for all of us that are in addiction, and it's like, I've been there. That's
Yeah.
why I'm here.
So if there was one
Absolutely.
person out there right now that's going to hear this story and kind of listen to it a little bit, and they don't think it's recovery's possible for them, or they're so broken they don't feel like they can be fixed, what's something that you would say to that person?
Man, I was broken. I mean, down and out. Like I have a box, the old bullet box, and I wrote in it when I was in active addiction. Don't even remember writing it. Broken, dead inside, and all this stuff. All right, I still got that box as a fresh reminder where I was, but I'm not there no more.
No.
And man, look, 7 numbers.
7 prison numbers?
7 prisoners, 16 years in prison. You know what I mean? I played sports, athlete, and just like I lived a mess of a life. I didn't grow up till I was 43. You know what I mean?
Thank God you lived to
I got
43
real good
and grow up.
I got real good at creating families and throwing them away. You know what I mean? And like I got the best relationship now that I ever had. Because why? Because I can, you know what I mean? I can like sit back, evaluate it, take it in, process it before I have to react to it. You know what I mean? And
That's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that emotional
and
reaction gets us.
used to, I was never wrong. You know what I mean? It's my way or the highway type of guy. And man, life's way better
I
now.
think whether you're an addict or not, that's words of wisdom to
Oh,
live
it
by
is. Oh, my
regardless,
gosh,
to
yes.
sit back, reevaluate versus, being a hothead and going off the deep end.
Yep.
Man, words well said there, pal. And I love what's on your shirt. It says, my
Yeah.
mess became my message.
Oh, you
And,
did.
and absolutely,
Yes,
it did.
has. Well, I just need you to know that it's amazing, and every
Yeah, it
time that
is.
I get the opportunity to talk to you, see you out somewhere or something, I just always remember that guy that showed up, and I'd be like, he ain't gonna stay. He's not gonna stick around very long
That's what a
because
lot
you just
of
wasn't
people
having it. And then you did, and then you kept staying, and you were there, and you were there, and before I knew it, like you were bringing these younger guys in, like that was kind of heading down the wrong direction. You get sit down with them, you talk to them, and they listened to you because they knew that you were speaking from experience.
Yep.
I hope you keep doing that. I hope you never
Yeah.
stop doing that.
Well, I have to. I graduated in September from Lawrence County Recovery Outpatient, and man, I went to counseling until a few months ago. Just stayed coming to counseling. Didn't have to do nothing, but I have to for me.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
I had to stay connected for me. When I moved out, I was in a big hurry to move out after almost 6 months, and man, I got nervous when I moved out. I'm like, man, here, all my people's up here.
Yeah.
This is my family
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
This is my recovery community, my church family. Like I learned how to love people other than just like take from people and like hurt them and
Kind of makes you feel good to give a little too, don't it?
Don't it?
Yeah, dude,
Man,
absolutely.
like
it
I
does.
see somebody on the street now, I don't judge them anymore. You know, I mean, I was there.
Exactly.
I
Well,
tell people, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
you're
you,
right
but
ahead.
I tell people all the time, I can't get you in heaven, I can't get you to hell. I don't place judgment. That's in God's hands.
Yeah.
I just try to take people for face value and be a beacon of light, and that's exactly what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah.
You done made me emotional.
And I'm definitely a fruit inspector. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit there and judge, but I'm definitely gonna inspect it. And if you ain't moving my way or doing the same things I'm doing,
See.
hey,
Yeah,
deuces.
like-minded people. Yeah, you
Yep.
got to. And I know we get a lot of questions. People say, what happens in those houses, in recovery houses, and what happens in those sober living houses? This is what happens in those houses.
Man.
It's amazing,
Yeah. Listen.
and I love it. Like, you're just a walking testament to what can happen if you put your best foot forward and you want change. Not everybody wants it, but if you're ready to do something different and you were very determined and
Yeah.
you've been able to do that. How about relationships within your family and stuff? How's that? Have you been able to work
Man.
on some of those things?
Absolutely.
That's
like
awesome.
like I live with my sister now. I didn't talk to her for 10 years. I live with her right now, but I just got a place.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, because
But-
I
So
heard
you're about
you
to,
say
I
you
know,
signed
you
your
said you
own
signed your
place.
lease today. I was
Yeah,
like,
I signed a
yes.
lease.
She come see you now.
That's it. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm
Got
so.
engaged yesterday.
I know. How does that feel?
A
relationship
I
where
know,
you didn't know
me
each
and your
other.
husband gonna try to talk him
Yeah,
out of
that's
it.
what you said.
Look, I
A
gotta-
relationship that has nothing to do with you guys never used together, right? So this
Absolutely
relationship.
not. It's-
So you know each other sober, and that's
Only
great.
sober.
Only sober.
Met her at church.
Yes.
She begged me out. I told her no. And then she's like, "Well, will you be my friend?" And then,
Yeah.
and then, like, man, Like I took her last night to the church, and I was nervous.
I
You know what I mean?
bet.
I was nervous,
got
but
a
I
reason
got,
to
but
be
I've been
nervous.
engaged before.
Yeah.
Wasn't nervous, but this I knew was forever. You know what I mean? I took her to the church after it started closed, and she's like, "What are we doing here, babe?" And I'm like, "Well, come here a minute." And I got up there, and I'm like, "Well, it's the first place we met, and ever since that day, I've been thinking about you, more and more every day. And now we've been together almost 7 months, and you know, if we put God first, you know what I mean, I know we can make our marriage work." And I asked her to marry me, and she said, "Yeah."
And she said yes.
Buddy, that's
amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's where we need to end it
Yes.
right there.
God.
I can't wait to see you in a year from now.
I know.
I mean, it's super nice to meet you, man.
nice to
Super
meet you.
inspiration for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Good luck to you,
Buddy,
okay?
hey, we're so proud of you.
All right, we're going to get out of
Yes.
here. God bless, and y'all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Share this with everybody you know, and we do appreciate it. Thank you.